In the heart of northern England, there's a house no one dares to live in. A place that was meant to bring profit, but instead brought nightmares. For decades, locals whispered about flickering lights, distant screams, and shadows moving where no one should be. Tonight, we uncover the true story of the Hollow Manor, a place where silence itself became the loudest scream. Stay until the end, because what investigators found inside was never meant to be seen by human eyes. In the autumn of 1974, a small real estate company based in northern England purchased an aging Victorian mansion on the outskirts of a quiet rural town called Ravenscroft. The house stood alone at the end of a narrow, tree-lined road that most locals avoided after dark. The property, known as the Hollow Manor, had been abandoned for almost 15 years. Its windows were sealed with warped wooden boards, and the once grand garden had grown wild, the trees twisting like claws around the crumbling walls. Locals spoke in whispers about the place. Some said the last family to live there disappeared overnight, leaving their belongings behind. Others claimed to have seen candlelight flickering through the upper windows long after midnight, though the electricity had been cut off for years. When the company's senior surveyor, Thomas Elridge, first entered the house, he described the silence as unnatural, too aware. In his report, he wrote that the temperature dropped the moment he stepped through the front door. His torchlight revealed dust thick as fog and deep scratches along the wooden panels of the hallway, claw marks, though no animal had been inside for years. At the time, no one thought much of it. It was just another restoration project, another forgotten property to be flipped for profit. But what began as a simple business venture would soon become one of the most disturbing, unsolved mysteries in modern British history. The renovation team arrived on October 12, 1974. 4 men, 1 woman, and a truck full of tools and materials. Their plan was to stay inside the manor for 2 weeks to complete the first inspection and make the place ready for electrical work. According to their notes, the first day was uneventful. Just dust, cold air, and the faint smell of mold. But the first night was different. Around midnight, one of the workers, Alan Price, reported hearing footsteps upstairs. Heavy, deliberate, pacing from one room to another. Thinking it was a prank, he went to check, but the upper floor was empty. The next morning, they found all the doors on the second floor wide open, though they had been locked the night before. The group brushed it off as wind pressure or structural movement, but the fear had already taken root. That night, no one slept. By the third day, the crew decided to set up a tape recorder in the main hallway. They wanted to capture the strange sounds that echoed through the house at night. Footsteps, dragging noises, and sometimes a faint whisper. When they played the tape the next morning, the air went cold. At first it was silence. Then came a woman's voice, faint but unmistakable, saying something in Old English. "Get them out." No one in the group could explain it. The house was locked from the inside, and no one had entered during the night. Alan smashed the recorder in panic, shouting that the voice came from the same room he'd heard the footsteps before. Later that day, the company's manager ordered them to continue work as scheduled. He refused to believe the story. That night, 2 workers quit and left Ravenscroft before dawn. Before leaving, one of the departing workers, Sarah Linton, took a single photograph of the main hallway using her Polaroid camera. To prove the house wasn't haunted, she later said. But when the film developed, the image showed something none of them could explain. A figure stood halfway down the corridor, blurred, pale, and facing the camera. Its outline was human, but the head was tilted unnaturally to one side, as if broken. Behind it, a shadow stretched across the wall in a shape that didn't match the figure's posture. The negative was later analyzed by a photography lab in Manchester. Their report concluded, no signs of tampering or double exposure. That photograph remains one of the last pieces of evidence taken inside Hollow Manor before it was sealed again. After the team abandoned the project, Hollow Manor remained untouched for years. The company quietly removed its listing from all property records, and the local council placed a barrier around the estate. The official reason was structural instability, but residents of Ravenscroft knew better. They said the house had claimed its own, that it didn't want to be disturbed again. In 1978, a group of university students broke into the manor as part of a paranormal study. Only 3 of the 5 returned the next morning, pale and trembling. None of them ever spoke publicly about what they saw. By 1980, the building was declared unsafe and sealed permanently. But even then, locals reported lights in the windows and faint music playing from somewhere deep inside. 2 weeks into the renovation, the construction crew began reporting strange sounds from the upper floor. The workers claimed they heard muffled conversations at night, voices that didn't belong to anyone in the crew. One of the electricians, James Carter, decided to record the sounds with a reel-to-reel tape recorder. When the tape was played back the next morning, everyone in the office froze. The recording captured a woman's voice whispering, "Why did you wake me?" followed by the sound of a door slamming, even though no door had moved that night. After that, 3 workers quit the job immediately, refusing to return. The remaining few stayed, but their expressions grew hollow, their eyes dark, as if the house was slowly draining them. During one inspection, a worker discovered a sealed door behind layers of wallpaper on the 2nd floor. When it was finally opened, they found a small square room with mirrors covering every wall, ceiling, and even the floor. The air was icy cold despite no windows or ventilation. In the center of the room stood a single wooden chair, facing one of the mirrors. When the foreman entered to take photographs, he saw his reflection move, a second slower than him. The delay was so faint that others didn't notice, but he swore the reflection smiled when he didn't. That evening, the foreman locked himself in his van and refused to sleep inside the house again. Records from the 1930s revealed that the house once belonged to the Whitmore family, a wealthy couple and their 2 daughters. In 1938, all 4 vanished without a trace. Police found the dining table set for dinner, candles still burning, but no sign of struggle or escape. It was as if the family had simply ceased to exist. The case was closed as unexplained disappearance. After learning this, the company tried to sell the property quickly, but every interested buyer withdrew after visiting. One man reportedly fainted upon entering the mirror room and was later hospitalized for what doctors called. In 1975, a well-known paranormal researcher named Dr. Evelyn Marks arrived in Ravenscroft to study the Hollow Manor. She spent 3 nights inside with her equipment, cameras, thermal scanners, and EVP recorders. On the 2nd night, her camera captured a faint silhouette moving across the hallway, although the house was locked from the inside. Her final recording ended with her whispering, "There's something in the walls. It's watching me." The next morning, she was gone. Her car remained parked outside, her notes scattered on the floor near the mirror room. She was never found. After Dr. Mark's disappearance, the Hollow Manor was sealed by local authorities. No one entered again for decades. Over the years, residents nearby reported lights flickering inside the empty house at night and the faint sound of a woman humming an old lullaby. By the late 1990s, the house had become part of local legend, a warning told to children not to wander near the woods. Some say the Whitmore family never left. Others believe the house itself is alive, feeding on anyone who dares disturb its silence. In 1999, a young investigative journalist named Daniel Cooper decided to reopen the case of Hollow Manor for a documentary series on haunted sites across Britain. Daniel was a skeptic, a man who believed every ghost story had a rational explanation. He obtained special permission from the council to enter the property, which had been sealed for over 20 years. When he first stepped inside, the air was thick with the smell of dust and mold, yet he described feeling as if someone had been there just moments before. His camera recorded him entering each room methodically, describing the structure in decay. But at exactly 3:12 a.m., during the first night, his recorder captured a sound unlike anything he expected, the faint laughter of a child, echoing through the hallways. Daniel dismissed it at first, thinking it was a trick of the wind, but when he played it back later, he heard his own voice whispering, "Daniel," even though he never said it. On his second night, Daniel decided to sleep inside the house to debunk the myths. He set up motion sensors in the hallways and cameras at each entrance. At 2:47 a.m., one of the sensors detected movement from the upper floor, the same area where the mirror room was located. The footage showed faint footsteps moving across the dust-covered floorboards, leaving visible prints even though no one was there. The prints were small, like those of a child. Daniel climbed the stairs cautiously, whispering to his recorder, "If someone's here, I mean no harm." When he reached the top, all sensors went off at once. The cameras glitched for 3 seconds, and in that brief static, a reflection of a little girl could be seen standing behind him in the mirror, smiling. While exploring the study room, Daniel discovered something behind a loose brick in the fireplace, an old folded letter sealed in wax. The handwriting was elegant, signed by Margaret Whitmore, the mother from the missing family. The letter read, "He said the house needed us, that it feeds when we are afraid. The walls whisper his name at night. I can hear the girls calling from the mirrors. If we don't leave soon, we will become part of it." Daniel read the letter aloud on camera, visibly shaken. The next moment, the light flickered and a cold breeze rushed through. When Daniel's team reviewed the footage days later, they discovered that large portions of the tapes were corrupted, specifically the parts filmed near the mirror room. What remained was chilling, distorted audio of a woman crying, and faint laughter overlapping with Daniel's voice saying, "I can't see myself anymore." The final frame of the last tape showed Daniel's camera lying on the floor, tilted toward the mirror. In its reflection, a shadow stood exactly where he should have been. Daniel Cooper was never seen again. His car, equipment, and belongings remained inside. The local police sealed the house once more, permanently. Today, the Hollow Manor remains abandoned, fenced off by rusted iron gates and warning signs. Local residents claim that government agents occasionally visit the site at night, carrying strange equipment and staying until dawn. Some say they are studying radiation. Others believe they're hiding something much darker. Every few years, thrill seekers break in to film ghost videos, but none stay long. Their cameras always malfunction inside, and many report hearing their own voices whisper back to them. The manor stands silent still, its windows like eyes, watching, waiting for the next soul curious enough to listen. In 2003, 28 years after the disappearance of Dr. Evelyn Marks, and 4 years after Daniel Cooper vanished, a confidential government document surfaced on an online forum. It was titled Operation Hollow. The file, allegedly leaked from the Ministry of Defense, referenced unexplained acoustic phenomena and non-human cognitive projections observed at the Ravenscroft site. According to the document, scientists from a classified research division entered the manor in 1981 under strict orders to contain the anomaly. The report mentioned high electromagnetic readings, disembodied whispers, and temperature fluctuations beyond measurable limits. But the final page ended abruptly with the phrase, "Containment failed. Subject has adapted." The post was deleted within 24 hours. The user who uploaded it was never identified. In 2008, a local historian named Clara Hughes began researching the manor's origins for a book on Victorian architecture. Her findings went far beyond old blueprints. Deep in the archives, she uncovered letters exchanged between the original architect, Sir Jonathan Blythe, and a secretive patron whose name was redacted. One letter, dated 1871, sent chills through her spine. It read, "The design must be precise. The mirrors are not for beauty, but for containment. Each wall must face the next, creating a reflection without end, a prison of sight for that which must never see the dark again." Clara published excerpts of the letters online. Within a week, her website was hacked and deleted. She reported being followed by a man in a black coat for several nights. One morning, she was gone. Her car found near Ravenscroft, engine still running. In 2016, a group of urban explorers sent a drone over the Hollow Manor, hoping to capture footage for their YouTube channel. The video began normally: broken roof tiles, shattered windows, overgrown ivy swallowing the walls. But as the drone hovered above the center of the roof, the footage distorted violently. A pale light pulsed from the attic window, followed by what looked like a face pressing against the glass from the... In 2022, a former police officer named Harold Finch, who had worked on the original Whitmore case in the 1970s, returned to Ravenscroft after decades of silence. Haunted by guilt, he wanted closure. He broke through the rusted gates and entered the manor one final time. His body was never recovered, but his audio recorder was. The tape contained 40 minutes of silence, broken only once. At 3:14 a.m., Harold's trembling voice whispered, "It's still here, but it knows I'm not afraid anymore." Then came a sound, deep, guttural, like breathing from inside the walls. The tape ended there. Today, the Hollow Manor still stands at the edge of Ravenscroft, untouched, rotting, patient. No one dares to approach it, though locals say sometimes, on windless nights, the lights inside flicker back on. The government denies all knowledge. The land records list the property as condemned, but travelers passing through the area swear they've seen a figure in the upstairs window, a woman's silhouette, holding the hand of a small child, watching the road in silence. They say the Hollow Manor doesn't trap people anymore. It waits, listening, for those who will come willingly. And every few decades, someone always does. Decades have passed, and the Hollow Manor still stands, empty, silent, and watching. No one knows what really happened that night, but some say if you walk near the house after midnight, you can still hear the creaking floors and a man's voice whispering, "You shouldn't have come back." Maybe the house was never haunted by ghosts. Maybe it was haunted by something far worse, the truth. Until next time, stay in the light.